Hey everybody, welcome. Mark Miller here. Rory's on the line with me from the UK. How you doing, Rory?
I'm doing pretty good, Mark. Yourself? You good?
I'm doing pretty good too. Yeah, not too bad.
Hey.
I was up at about 4 a.m. this morning, and I was like, I think I can get some code to work. And I was like, and that's what I did. I was working on the three-dimensional dice rolling. That is going to be part of the Dungeons and Dragons game. So we've got these 3D dice that are going to roll across the screen in response to the players rolling, and so with the help of guess who? Yep, it's Will Bennett. Uh, he gave me a couple suggestions via Skype chat yesterday, and I tried those out. They didn't work, and he said, "Wait, did you try them out just with the original source?" And I said, "Well, let me go try that." And I brought their source down again. I tried the suggestions, and sure enough, I started to see things show up in 3D space, and I got to a point where I had never gotten before, which is where I got shadows on a transparent floor. So what happens is the dice will roll across, and they'll roll across whatever is live streamed behind, like a map or video, whatever. The dice will cast shadows as it hits the floor, as it gets close and hits the
Nice.
floor. Yeah, it's really cool. In fact, this morning, inspired by all of this, I took some dice and I started recording sound effects with these. And I recorded about 20 sound effects of dice hitting at different velocities and intensities. And my intention is to calculate the velocity of impact and what surfaces are being impacted, and play the sounds as if the dice were actually being rolled live right there in front of you. And I hope to get that all done. And I think we'll probably do that in the show. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week we'll do it. One of the two I think we'll do. So speaking of that, let me actually switch over to, I'll show you kind of a preview of what we're talking about. Here's let me switch this. Here's the dice right here, and you can see them on the stream, Rory.
Yep.
They're pretty cool. I created
They're pretty nice. I like those.
yeah, they're not bad. I need to do an underline under the 6, which I'm going to do. I did that in a previous test. I created an underline under it, but in these dice, this is like a kind of a reset of code, so I have to go back in and do that again. And I'm going to do some I intend to do killer special effects with these, right? One is when we clear out the dice, I'm going to have them explode into little bits of powder, like just a poof, poof, like that when they're done.
Sweet.
And if you roll a 20, I've got this killer wraparound flame asset that's just going to, the whole thing's going to go, and then like a 20 is going to come out. It's going to be over the top, critical hit, like that.
Yeah.
And, it's going to sound like you're at a wrestling match, I think, if you roll a 20. And if you roll a 1, I'm not sure what it's going to do, but it's going to be some crazy stuff. I've got broken glass. I've got, maybe, I don't know, something like that. Yeah. Like that. So Will Bennett says, I think we agreed yesterday that I'm the Roy that never made it out of QA. Yeah, okay.
This is some interesting conversational pieces here. Apparently, Rory 0.5 rocks. I'm like, am I half as good as I was?
No. You're Rory 1.0, but what happens is that when you're gone, Will kicks in as Rory.
I see.
As Rory 2.0, but because it's whatever he's whatever the reasons are, he's still in beta. He's like a 0.5 of Rory. So anyway, that's it.
Any contribution is good. Thank you so much for that, Will Bennett.
Yeah, no, seriously, thank you, Will. It's awesome. And certainly we should point out that if you haven't learned this already, yeah, that's absolutely true. Will, so thank you so much for that. That got me out of my lock and then able to actually do what I think I do best, which is really finesse the look and feel of something so that until it's like really close to perfect. And that's what I was able to do yesterday, or this morning rather. Now we're back to the business of what we were doing before, though. Let me zoom in the code a bit here so we get about 100% in our view. And this is where we left off yesterday. And I wanted to get back into that because I didn't do anything else on this. I was busy with some Dev Express related stuff, and then Will came in with that distraction on the 3D dice, and so I haven't gotten back into this, and now we need to go back to it. And if I recall, let's see if I can run this. Can I run this test while everything else is running? Only if I stop debugging. Wah. All right, so I guess I'm going to stop debugging. That's what I'll do. And let's start up a... let's start up Mr. Announcer Bot, make sure he's here, and also try to get that overlay manager working as well. So the overlays work and all the communication works. I'm not sure if how well we do at this. I think historically we don't do well, but at least Mr. Announcer Bot will be up while we do work and we shut everything down and do the work here. Yep. I've got some updating here on the screen. Hugo's out there. Hugo, glad you're with us as usual.
Welcome, Hugo.
I feel like with Hugo and Will out there, there's nothing I can't do.
It's a very effective combination.
Yeah,
eh?
and with Rory on the phone with us as well. With Rory
well, things slightly lower down.
There's nothing there's nothing I can't do that he's not going to make sound good. So it's true. That's what you do. That's what you do. So, okay, we got a
positive spin.
And speaking of positive spin, let's do a positive spin on this fail because we haven't written any code yet to do this yet.
But it's always good to have your tests fail first because at least you know then that there's something to be proving is correct, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because if it just works all the beginning, it could be that,
you're just not testing the right thing.
Yeah, your test runner's not working or something like that. So we've equipped the Ring of Leaping, but we went to go check the dexterity. But we went to go get the mods. This is the code we wrote yesterday. Recalculate mods if necessary.
And then we don't do anything.
Well, there's no break here because I didn't say debug it, but we're not actually recalculating anything, and we need to do that here. So I think I'm just going to, I don't really need the system debugger to break call here anymore. I'm just going to set the breakpoint there. Let's go back to our mod test. Let's debug it. See what we get. Oh, you don't like the failing test being committed?
Well, failing all else, the failing test being committed is, you could presume maybe that you're not always at the same terminal and that you would get latest code whenever you were to come back, and therefore a failing test is a great indicator of what you were doing last time. You were trying to get the test to pass.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think I forgot to put a tag out here. I think we're at episode -108. Does that look like correct to you? Begin.
I believe so.
Let's push that. Here we go. Add that tag. That tag's out there. That's the source that I checked in a few minutes ago.
Hugo says he only has an issue with committing failing tests when they're not his. Seems fair enough to me.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah, right. I'm like, right now I'm pretty much, dominating the changes in this particular piece right here, which probably makes sense. There's the code right there for today that we're starting with. Okay, so need to recalculate mods is false. By the way, to give you some insight on what Will found, basically the problem was with modules. We had to remove all the module references, we had to remove the imports, and remove all the exports. And once we did that, suddenly we could use some code. This is all in an area of JavaScript that I am just not informed about. I don't know what's going on with this. So I don't understand exactly why that's the case. I don't really understand what a module is versus, a minimized .js file, for example. I don't know. I just don't know. And reminds me right about now, we should say that... Mark doesn't know Jack. Don't know Jack, don't know Jill. I don't know what I'm doing. But, we're trying, is what we're trying to do. Okay, so we're at a break point here. We need to recalculate the mods. That part is true. Now I think we need to go through the equipment. So we need to do two things. We need to clear all our previously calculated mods, which somewhere in here, it's a dictionary, I think. Do we got a dictionary? There it is, calculated mods. That's what we called it.
Yep.
And let's go back to where we were. And we say calculated mods.clear, like that. And then we want to go through all our equipment, our items. What are we calling it? I think it's called equipment. equipment. There it is.
There we go.
Like there. Let's cut that to the clipboard, type in FE for each, and let CodeRushed do the work for us. Okay, and now we were going to go for the each item view model. And so now what I think we need to do is to do something like this. Calculate mods for equipment. And equipment's going to include weapons as well.
Yep.
Or for item is what it should be. For item. That. And I don't think, did the purple burst work? I think it did not. I think because I've shut down so much, and I started up the overlay manager, but I have a feeling something is wrong here. This is what I was thinking you would need to get that to work. The purple burst, and I think it's not working, right? Is that right? Let me try that again. Test for rainbow. That's my favorite one because that lasts longer. Yeah, it's not working. So the emitter's not working. Sorry about that, guys. And it'll start working again once I run the whole thing and we stop doing our test-driven development here. So calculate mods for item. Let's declare that.
So quick question here, Mark. We're actually working against a creature, and we are calculating mods, that is to say effects, on 6 basic attributes of that creature. So if the creature is inherited and it's player, for example, things like dexterity, strength, and various things like that. So they are things which affect their ability to do actions of varying kinds.
Right.
Okay. So I'm wondering if equipment is the right thing to iterate through, because equipment might be all the things you have but are not necessarily using. And equally, you've got somebody may have cast a spell on you, and thus there is an effect in place.
Yep, I got
Does that make sense?
No.
So I'm wondering if the thing that we should be iterating is things that have an active effect upon your person.
Yes, right. But those are contained in different things.
Okay.
For example, the items could have an effect on your person if the item is equipped, for example.
True.
Or there could be a
yes.
curse on the item, for example, and it could have an impact on you as well without
Yes.
being equipped. So,
So that's a more complicated thing to calculate. So if for now, as you say, we go with this.
right now we're
then we can
okay.
get this working.
And we'll be able to change this, but definitely items are going to do this. Basically, definitely items are going to have, if we go into item view model, let me show you that. It's got curses, blessings, and diseases. So an item can hold on to those, right? And it's got some mods right here.
Okay.
And it's got the events that these are the special effects that we built before that we're transferring over. The mods are the thing I want to go through now. Curses, blessings, and diseases. I've not added the UI for setting that up yet. So that still needs to be built. But the mods are essentially done and built and stored. So that's what I'm going to work on for now. Calculate mods for item is going to look like that. And there is the code right up here. And then we're going to come in here. We're going to say .mods like that. Select that whole thing. Cut it to the clipboard. Type in FE again. Let CodeRushed do the work for me. Look at this. I sound like I'm on an infomercial, don't I? And now we're going to go. Now we're going to say calculate mods. There we go. Now we're going to say calculate mods, and we're just going to pass in that mod view model right there, like that. And let me remove that block delimiter. Let's declare that method. Pop that up there. And now here's an individual view mod right here. Let's put the caret right up here. Set next statement. Okay. So this is odd to me. Can't do it for edit and continue. But if I hit F10, this should go down to here, and then I should be able to set it. Let's try it. F10, and now come back. Let's come back one above it and say set next statement, and now it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? I can make this thing. Okay, so I've got 3 items here that we've got here in our equipment count, by the way. 2 weapons and ammunition. I've got a sword. I've got a blowgun. Whoa, wait. And a blow needle. Wait, I don't even have the item that I'm expecting to have here. So hold on a second.
Which item is that then?
The item is the, hold on a second. Let's get out of here. Oh, I haven't equipped it yet. That's why. Okay.
Okay.
I'm stepping
Ring of
through the
leaping, that
code.
was it.
Here's the ring of leaping. That's what I'm looking for right there. That's the ring of the faithful leap, which is just this fictitious treasure that I created. All right, so now we're going to go inside. Let's go back in here, set a breakpoint here. And whoops, I think I had it in the wrong place. But that's okay. This is where I wanted to be. All right. So this is our first modifier. It's called advantage on athletics, is what it is, and it does require equipped. And I think, do I have a field called equipped or is equipped? No, that's on the outside piece. I need to pass that in as well, is what I need to do, I think. So let me kill this because I'm not going to be able to change the parameters here without shutting it down. Come on. I just hit Shift F5 and VS became unresponsive.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
There we go.
Just so everybody knows, I'm on version 16.0.1, preview 1.0. So just installed this morning. That's what I'm working with.
That's interesting. I'm on 16.0.1 and it's not preview. I don't know if you're just on a different track and they're labeling everything you get with preview, but
I don't know.
it's fun.
I do not know.
I was quite impressed though with the way it did notify me this morning that it was present. I've not seen that before, and the installation was fairly uneventful, I guess, which is nice.
Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. I spent a lot of time. Sorry, Roy. Say that again to me one more time. The last
I was
thing.
just commenting on the process by which my copy of Visual Studio both informed me that it needed to be upgraded and indeed went through with that upgrade. A, without rebooting in any way, and B, with basically no real issues at all. And there I am on next version with very little hassle altogether at all.
Straight Butter says, I think there was a bug that it leaves the preview if you upgraded. I don't know. I got the preview here. It does clearly says preview here, and I'm pretty sure, as I recall, in the installer it said preview as well. I don't know, and I haven't really seen anything that says it's final. I looked for this yesterday or the day before, and I didn't see anything. So with the last time we talked about it, so when it said download, it's the preview is what it wants me to download. So I'm not seeing a final over here. So there are 2 tracks of VS, says Hugo. The preview remains a preview, but I did notice that the release still had RC in it. Huh. So I'm not sure what's going on here with this. All I know is I keep, you have to get the VS 2019 installer. So apparently Hugo is saying what you are saying too, which is apparently there is a release out, but for some reason I'm running the preview. I guess.
Possibly the preview just refers to the fact you're on a preview track, and the version number being the same as my version number suggests we're actually on the same version. It's just it has now made it through preview and into the release as well. Yeah.
That's probably what's happening
Hugo
as well.
I'm not sure I'd go so far as to say always. Them's difficult things to justify that.
All right, so now inside here our code is going to look. I think we've got a good breakpoint here. Let's go back and run it again one more time. Wait, not this one.
That's not the test we were running.
This is the
there
one
we go.
That's right.
No, that's not it either. We were looking for a ring of some description.
You're right. It's the mod test over here. Stop.
Hugo
Debug test.
Yeah. How did you know?
Roy's might be married.
Yeah,
That's
just possibly.
The current speculation that's out there.
Used to capacity of being wrong.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Yeah, so my wife has 3 sisters. 2. One was recently discovered in a DNA test, but 2 are she shares the same mother and father with, for 2 of them, and they're all like. My wife plus these 2 women are all incredibly strong women. And when I am in the same room with my brother-in-law, he's like, don't argue with the women. Don't talk back to them. Let's go camping. Let's go drink some beer somewhere. He's like you never question the ladies. He's like very much like that. So okay, wait a second. Wait. What do we do here? Okay, so we never got into anything with mods. That makes sense. We're in the first time through. And now it's asking for this calculate mod here. I'm just doing a 2-string on the key that's coming in here. And so that's how we're going to add them in the calculated mods. So that's how we'll get it. And it's just going to store ints inside of, or doubles actually, it's what it's going to store. Okay.
Yep.
And then, so we're just looking for the calculated mod with strength. And now here we're in here with the mod. And this is our first mod from our ring, and it's giving us an advantage on athletics. Are we equipped? We are equipped. So we're going to say if mod dot requires consumption, then we're out. We're just done. We're not going to do anything on that. We're going to say if mod dot requires equipped, we're going to say if not, it doesn't require equipped, or hey, guess what? We are equipped, then we can do something.
Yep.
And I think those are the only two constraints on the mod right there. Let's go dive into the view model a second and double check that. Yeah, these are the only two requirement pieces right there. This filter is for the advantage or disadvantage here piece that you get, the option here for adds advantage or disadvantage. So, okay, so what we want to do next is we want to do...
So presumably we reach into the dictionary and find if there is already a mod of this type. So if this is affecting dexterity, we need to find the existing dexterity modification and then adjust it. If not, put one in.
Hugo just posted this out into the chat room here. Awesome. Okay. That's it. So we're kicking out somewhere over on the preview channel. It looks like right here is what's happening. That's what we're doing here, which I'm actually totally happy to be on. I'm like, by all means, I'll, push this stuff hard. So, okay. So, let's do this. I want to reverse this. I can't reverse it. Can I? The inverse, if I want to, I guess I got to put a line of code here before I can flatten it. So if this is the case, then we're going to say, I guess we have to do some checks here. If mod dot adds advantage, we'll ask that question. If that's the question, then we're going to do something else. Now I should be able to flatten this conditional with CodeRushed. There it is, right there. And so I can it just inverts that for me right there. Oh, note this though, Rory.
Yeah, it didn't remove the braces or the brackets.
Got an extra set of parens there. Right there on that flatten conditional on this. Let me undo this and I'll paste this in for you into your chat room, and then this is the other reason why Rory is here, is because anything unexpected behavior comes along and we spot with CodeRushed, Rory comes in and documents it and sends it out to the devs. And so here in this case, CodeRushed didn't clean up the extra parens. It should have known that. By the way, really cool feature in CodeRushed Classic that I think we have not ported over yet is simplify Boolean expression. It has the ability to understand redundant logic or redundant parens, things like that, and simplify it. So preview and release can run side by side. Mark the time, Rory says, Will Bennett.
Oh, it's done.
I think we need Mr. Announcer Guy for that. Mark the time, Rory. Yeah, something along those lines. Can at least, I wonder if I've got any Mr. Announcer Bot in here. Can he at least say, like, thank you to you, Rory, for that help? Can you do that, Mr. Announcer Bot? All right, there we go.
Hey.
All right. So, I don't want to be too mean, but Mr. Announcer Bot is, he's not really a sentient being. So,
excuse me?
I'm sure.
Okay, anyway, he's not a sentient being, so we're going to move on to the rest of the show. Yes, Mr. Announcer Bot.
We need to talk.
No, Mr. Announcer Bot, no. I just got through explaining that you are not a sentient creature. All right? I think it's, I think we
Maybe
should.
it's time to get back to some.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Mr. Announcer Bot. Jeez, okay. All right, so this has been Mark playing with buttons on his Stream Deck. And now let's get back to the code here. So if mod adds advantage, so I wasn't going to do this one first. But it's the first mod coming in. So, yeah, I don't know what to do on this. So let's see here. If it's, I guess we'll play with it. I guess we will. Yes. Oh, you're just, Def Sultan is just saying, that spot needs a mark the time command, which could be, could or should be mark. Yeah, no.
Yep, we've got that.
Mark is for getting my
grabbing
attention. Yeah.
It just did.
Yeah.
Very effective.
Maybe if I type it in, though, it could be that version. It could be Rory, mark the time, like that, something like that. Okay, so if it adds advantage, let's go look at the advantage here. There is the Vantage skill filter is a skill, is what it is. So what is it? It's athletics. Okay. So that means we know what we need to put this thing on here. So it is the, what is it? What do we call that? Calculated mods dot add. And so I think it's going to be skill filter dot. Now, how am I going to mark this as an advantage? I think I have to do dot toString like this, plus a dot some additional, look, I've been working in...
I'm curious, what's the benefit of marking a mod as an advantage or a disadvantage? Surely they're just positive and negative figures.
No, well, hold on. They are not, well, I have to have a unique name to get it. It's on a skill test, and the skill test might be used if I just index only by the skill test name, which in this case is athletics. There you can see it showing up right there. Then it's just going to be like a mod it'll be interpreted as a mod on athletics. Advantage means I get to roll 2 dice. A disadvantage means I get to roll 2 dice. If I have advantage, I get to take the highest number. If I have disadvantage, I get to take the lowest number. So, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to say dot advantage, and then I'm going to say a 1, meaning it's true, I think is what I'm going to do here. And I think I need a function to do this, because I'm going to, since dictionaries can only have one key, if we have multiples, I want to essentially add or subtract, I suppose. I'm not really sure how we're going to do with this with advantage, but if we have multiples, I want to add the existing value in. So if I have something that adds 1 to your strength, and I have another one that adds 1 to your strength, I want to then add them. So I'm going to say add mod like this, and I'm going to pass in this is what I'm going to do to it. And then we're going to go in and we're going to have some code in there that's going to do this. So we're going to say add mod, that's going to be the name, so it's going to say athletics.advantage 1. Let's go ahead and declare that method. There it is right there. And then we're going to say if calculated mods dot contains key, like that, of stir, which I'm going to rename to key. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to say calculated mods of key equals.
That's plus equals value.
Yeah, but if I do this, Rory.
You want a calculation around the key, don't
you?
No,
I'm telling you, if I do this, I want CodeRushed to do this.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes. So almost like smart semicolon.
Yeah, it's like a smart
position
equals.
Yourself correctly.
Yeah,
if
I do an equals in a space and there's like just an equals, like an assignment statement, there's not a double equals there, then I want to be like, no, you meant that, and put that there. That's what I want to do. Can you write that down and
absolutely.
Let me get that. I'm going to give you that code there so you can see it too as a reminder.
Better be careful to only do that in C-based languages.
Sure. That's fine, but that's what I want. And because I can do a test with 1 equals in VB.
You can,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just in in languages where where a single equals is only an assignment. Okay, so calculated mod's a key. We're going to say that's equal to value, like there. Plus equals value.
Yes.
If it contains it. Otherwise, we're going to say else down here.
If it doesn't contain it already, you could add one in with a value of 0 and then do that operation anyway.
Yes, I could.
Although
I would agree.
the way you've got it on screen is more optimal.
I'm okay with the way it is. Yeah, I like this here too. I'm okay with that. Okay, and that's not hard to read. So I'm okay with that. So if it adds the advantage, then we're going to go into the skill filter right here, and we're going to put this key in here, and the key is athletics.advantage, and the value is going to be 1, meaning it's essentially true. Anything greater than 0 for athletics.advantage means we've got advantage on the throw. Because you only get 1 advantage. So the rules in Dungeons and Dragons are if you multiple things add an advantage to a roll, only 1 advantage is taken. And if you've got a collision between both advantage and disadvantage, I think you get nothing on the roll. Even if you have like 5 advantages and 1 disadvantage, I think they
So
both
if we have
null
2
each other out.
advantages of value 1, we should still only get an advantage of 1. Is that correct?
I'm gonna let the number go bigger. I'm gonna
Okay.
just check for advantage. I'm gonna check to see if it's greater than 0 or less than
Sure.
0. Or greater than 0 means true. So that's what I'm gonna do for that. So there, I've done that. So there's that mod. Okay, let's see what next one comes in is gonna be. Just run it, and now the next mod coming in is strength plus 1 is the name of it, and it does not add advantage or disadvantage. Adds ability modifier. I kind of feel like that should be true,
Yeah.
but it does have a target name of strength. So target name, that is an ability modifier right there. I think that this is not.
We have faulty data, I think,
Maybe
in this case.
Maybe I'm like not. Let's go in and look at that ability modifier because I might be remembering this incorrectly here. Well, I don't even see that in here. Adds ability modifier. What's going in here? Mod add ability modifier dot value. There are methods on concurrent dictionary that I normally add as extensions to regular dictionaries. Add or update is my favorite. Oh, yeah, I love that. I love that. So add modifier. Oh, wait.
That's
Add modifier.
slightly
This
less
is, I know where this
effective,
is.
isn't it?
The what? Add or update?
The comment in the chat room there, add or update is great if you are literally only doing that, but we also have to read from the dictionary in order to sum it with whatever might be there, and if there's nothing there, we'll get a null reference. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, I wasn't entirely paying attention to you, Rory. I was looking at like 2 different things at once. Can you say that one more time to me, please?
So the suggestion in the chat room is that we look at some extension methods that will add
Right.
or update when looking at the dictionary. Now,
Oh,
you can certainly set a dictionary using just the square brackets. You're saying add or update apparently takes care of, the issue that I was mentioning, such as a potential null reference. So if you're trying
No,
to
the dictionary
plus equal or something
That's
into
no
the dictionary.
The dictionary is not null. Oh, the plus equals.
No,
you
but
think
the item. So if it doesn't currently have a value of any
Right.
kind, and you were plus equaling into it, then you have to read from
right?
it,
Yeah.
which doesn't have a value.
Yeah,
But apparently
we're-
the add or update extension method does take care of that.
No,
according
because
to our
add
friend.
or update is going to replace it. I think is what it's going to do. It's not. What we are actually doing is we're adding the values up. So we need our code the way it is what we do. So the add ability modifier. This is actually not. This is actually poorly named. I think this maybe needs to be what this is. What this does. This checks what your ability modifier is and adds it to. It adds it to the offset right here, this value. So that is a special condition rule for, so what happens is, like, for example, you can put on some armor and the armor says, I'll take whatever your ability modifier is and add that to 15. And that'll be like, for example, a breastplate has that.
Okay.
That's what the ability modifier is right there. So we're okay with that. So basically all I'm looking for is target name not empty. If that's the case, then we're modifying a target is what we're looking for. And so we want to do, I think we want to do this. We want to say, hey, look, if mod.offset is greater than 0, then we're going to do something. Else, we're going to say if mod.multiplier is not equal to 1, then we're going to do something. Then we're going to say else if mod.absolute is not equal to 0, then we're going to do something. So all of these are going to modify a player property right here. We also have to check to see if mod.property, what is it, target property? Target name, is that the one that's saying strength? Yeah, that's the one that says strength. Okay. If the target name is, let's do this. Whoops. Sorry. TS dot strs null or white space. And I want to put in here mod dot target name. So if we're not there, then we can modify a target, and I think this is all of those are our 3 options for modifying a target. So where are we here? Can we do this code? Looks like we are, okay, looks like offset is, it's weird. It's like we jump down to here. Let me come back up here, set next statement, try one more time here. It looks like it's not, it's looking at older code is what it looks like.
Yeah, it does.
Notice
that.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure if I can work with this or not, write code that's going to actually work or not. So what I want to do is I want to say, okay, if the target name is, in this case, strength, so what I want to do now is I want to add a mod, and it's going to be target name, which is not going to need a toString, and it's going to have an offset. It's not going to have the word advantage here. It's going to send the offset to it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how, what's going on here? What's my offset? My offset is a double. What is it not like here about this? It's an int. Well, guess who's going to have to stop debugging and come back in here. Let's go change this to doubles. Oh, it is doubles. Okay, so maybe it's just that in that one spot. Okay, let's stop debugging. See if we get the same delay we had before. Yeah, it looks like we did. We're getting it. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
So Will Bennett has linked me through to some documentation regarding the add update function. And it seems that it's not add or update in the sense of add a new entry or update in that sense. It is actually capable of adding to a hypothetical value that is found at a location and indeed generating the initial value as 0 should it not already have an entry in the dictionary.
Cow.
So it actually will provide us with what we want.
Wow. That's awesome.
Unbelievable!
I've never seen before.
That's awesome. All right. Okay, so I think we're back over here. We've got add mod coming in here. The one thing I haven't figured out is the multiplier. The multiplier needs to be multiplied. It needs to multiply by, and also absolute are both. I think what I have to do, I have to store them like I'm storing these others, like here. I think I have to do this, and it's going to be mod.targetName plus the word multiplier.
Okay.
Like this. Like that, and then that's going to pass it. That's going to take the mod multiplier in. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm not liking it, but it's what I got for now. I might change it. In other words, we've got kind of a simple generic all-purpose class, a dictionary solving this problem, and we might have to change it. later. But these are special cases: multiplier, absolute, and advantage, and as well as disadvantage. Let me go ahead and do this right here.
So I'm not particularly familiar with the actual mathematics involved in Dungeons and Dragons, but I find myself looking at the code and saying that at the moment we're allowing for the possibility of both multiplier in combination with advantage or disadvantage. Is that something we are aiming to support?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. It's in a single mod. It's unlikely, but it's certainly possible to do. Within the mod itself, you really can't do all three of those or two of these together. It's really going to be only one. No, there's no item I know of that both multiplies and then adds to it, for example. And there are very few that do absolutes. So it's mostly just offsets you're dealing with. So Kral 18182 is following. Thanks for that follow. We're at 614 followers over there. Every time, you know what I think I'm going to do is every time I get to 100 new followers, I'll light off more explosives. We'll do another explosive show. What do you think about that until it gets crazy for now?
Sounds kind of cool.
You like it? Okay, fine. All right, so we've got these right here. And we're not testing for these yet, but at least we're building these. Let's go ahead back into our mod test. Let's go ahead and debug it.
Straight Better has a comment, not completely up to speed on what you've got going on here, but the word advantage and disadvantage have different meanings for what you're doing here, I think, at least in 5e rule set. If that's the case, Straight Better, I really would appreciate maybe an explanation how you feel they do work.
No, I think we're good. Well, advantage and disadvantage are, so what's happening is right now for advantage and disadvantage, all I'm doing is I'm just storing a number out here that says this mod gives you advantage on a particular roll. Or this mod gives you a disadvantage. That's all I'm doing. Essentially, I'm counting the number of advantages and disadvantages. We're not doing anything yet on that, acting on that yet. I'm just storing it. So this is all I'm doing is I'm coming in here and I'm going to add 1 to the number of advantages for a particular skill test or the number of disadvantages for a skill test. Let's go ahead and take a look at those rules that Straight Butter's given us here and take a look at that. If multiple situations affect a roll and each one grants advantages or imposes disadvantage on it, then you don't roll more than one additional. And each one grants advantage or imposes disadvantage. Right.
Sounds like what you were saying earlier.
Right. So, now I got that. If two favorable situations grant advantage, you still only roll one additional, right? If service costs roll about a disadvantage, you're considered to have neither of them. This is true even if multiple circumstances impose disadvantage and only one grants advantage, or vice versa. You have neither disadvantage or advantage. So we're going to implement these rules. We haven't done this yet. We're not going to do that. And yes, we roll in an additional number of dice. Yes, got it. We are going to get there in terms of the combat rules that we're going to implement. But that's exactly what we're going to do. So right now it may look like we're not doing that yet, but all we're doing is we are just simply storing that there's advantage for a particular skill. Right here. And I called this the Vantage skill filter because a mod can either give advantage or disadvantage, but not both. And I need a skill filter for both. So I just took the common words, common letters inside. And I'm not crazy at all. That's my submission for that. Okay, so run. Here's our mod coming in. Get calculated mod for dexterity and strength. We're good here. Calculate mods. Here comes the mod in here. This is that first one for advantage. We've run through that already. Next one is strength +1. Let's just step through that. And here we go. There it is. And now we're going to modify strength. Strength is going to go up by 1. We've added a mod to that and keep running. What's the next one coming in here? This one is called dexterity +1. So we should have a target name of dexterity right there. There you see it. And the offset is 1. So perfect. Beautiful. So we're going to go in here again, and we're going to come down here, and we should see that this lights up right there. There it is right there. Target name dexterity, and the offset is 1. Okay, run. And our last one, we've got 2 more coming in here. Advantage on acrobatics. And then we're going to have a mod on speed after this that we haven't done anything. So here we go. Okay, so mod offset. Okay, all of these go false right here. The target name, what is it? Oh, it's none. and this is a neat CodeRushed template. Just type in and I do that, and it gives me this.
I love that one as
Target
well.
name is not equal to none, like that, right there, because we don't want to come in here for that. And I wish I hadn't started Twitch. Rather watch this than do my work, says Straight Butter.
So Straight Butter, if you're in any way involved in coding as a part of your work, I would call this research and training and file it under those terms. It's a really good way to justify such things to your boss.
Roy can make anything I do sound good. He can make anything I do sound good.
What you do is good, and in this case, it is.
See what I'm saying? Even my rationalization, he makes better. It's awesome. All right, so if it adds advantage, it does. Then we're going to come in here, and we're going to say acrobatics.advantage. The previous one was athletics.advantage. And so we're adding those pieces in there. Good. Okay, we're running. And then the last one in here, this is the increase to speed. And so I'm expecting to see the target name is speed, so that's the name of the property we're going to change. And the offset is 5, so it adds a plus 5 feet per turn advantage here. So we're going to come down here and let's see, are we strictly in here? And is it all going to work? Speed is up. Yeah, we don't need to do anything else. So we've solved everything for this particular piece with this code. It seems like this code is good for that, but there are other things that this can do that we're not working with yet. So we're going to still need to work in here and do some testing. Let's keep running. Now getting calculated mod for dexterity. Okay, dexterity, do we have that? Let's look at our calculated mods. What do we got? Yeah, we got one for dexterity. It's a +1. And we got one for strength, and we have one for speed. And we also have something for athletics advantage and acrobatics advantage. So we need to look at those in a second, but let's do these first. So we're going to do that. We're returning a 1. Let's just step out of here. There's our dexterity. And now let's see what we got. Look at that. We passed it. Awesome. Strength. I think we're going to pass this as well. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Get out of here. And we passed that as well. If we didn't pass it, we would have stopped with an exception. Initial speed +5. And wait. Ooh, this is going to fail because speed here is not a property. So we need to go in and fix this. I'll just go ahead and hit F10, and there's my fail. There's my exception. It will, Ben. If I ever get in trouble, I'm using Roy as my attorney. I'll probably use an actual attorney.
I think that might be a very much more sensible move.
To reduce legal exposure.
I can help with excuses for your mum. That'll be about it.
I'm gonna give Roy my mom's phone number. He's gonna be my PR guy, right? That's talk to Rory. He's gonna explain why this is
an attorney,
all.
He knows nothing about the law.
Yeah, way
Don't blame
better
him
than
for
it
anything.
seems. Yeah. So, okay, let's fix that. So we're going to, let's do it. We're going to do the same thing that we did before with strength and dexterity. We did this yesterday. Yeah, I'm feeling this is, I did not update CodeRushed. I only updated Visual Studio. I think this is a preview issue, new in the preview. This after shutting down, normally I have immediate response here, and it's pretty slow. So, okay, so if we go look at strength and what that's going on in strength, we've done this essentially right here. So I'm just going to copy this. I'll just duplicate that line. We're going to call this base speed like this, and we're going to call this speed like that. And we're going to say get mods, and we're going to say speed like this. Pass that in. And actually...
We don't do that, do we?
No, we don't. We have I want a second. I wanted to get a second overload for this, is what I wanted. But I'm also recalling back, Will Bennett. Maybe you can help me remember this. What's the parameter that allows me to get the member name that I'm calling from?
Was that name in square brackets? It's an attribute against the parameter. Is that right?
It's something I put here. Is right here. Yeah, it might be. So we're gonna declare this as a string. We'll call this key.
Call a member name, says Will.
And
you got one part of it right.
And I do it here, like this. If it's empty, like that, caller member name. Is that right? No, the attribute's going to go in front of it, like here. Is where it's going to go, like that. And let's use that.
Yeah, there we go.
Boy, is that it? Is that it? What's the magic here? Why is it? What's my problem here? May only be applied to parameters with default values. I guess. Okay.
That seems rather wasteful, doesn't it?
If key is equal to that, though, I'm out. I am going to return 0 on that for that.
Well, then it says you have to default the parameter to null.
Oh, I defaulted to null. Okay, that's happier for me anyway, actually. I'd rather check for null here. Null. Hey, I want this fixed too, Rory. Here's another one. This is small, but if I type in N here, it expands to name. I want that to go null right here. I want a context that understands, hey, look, I know where you are, and I want that. Because if I do it here at N, it's got it. N space gives it to me here, but doesn't give it to you here. I'm going to give that to you as well in the chat room, in our private chat here. So there you go. You've got that code. Okay, cool. So now I've got get mods. That means I can just do this. And if I'm in speed, that's going to do that. Now I want to go find my speed right here and rename this to base speed like that. Now delete it just so I've taken care of everything else outside. Let's see where that shows up anywhere else. Ooh, base speed. Yeah, okay. Okay. I want to compare against speed, and I want to compare against speed there. And now we've upgraded speed to do that, plus get mods. Get mods is going to go pass in key, and then it's going to calculate the mod, and now we should be able to get past speed, is where I think we should be able to. And then I think we're going to fail down here. Should we just run it?
Sure.
Rory says, okay, sure. Rory says sure on everything.
I am positive.
Rory is so cooperative. He's like, okay, here we go. What do we have our failure at?
Someone called me an enabler. That was
nice. Yes,
thing.
You are an enabler. That's awesome. But how would you repurpose that statement that you're that accusation?
Well, enabling is better than disabling.
There you go. See what I'm talking about, people? Right. Nothing. Okay, this is all excellent news. The mod is working. Right? It's modifying these properties. The mod from the Ring of Leaping. The last thing we have to do are the get skill check on dice. So let's so the dice roll. It's going to return a dice roll. Right now it's just doing a normal. I want to set a breakpoint here actually, and I want to debug the heck out of this thing. But I want to build it while we're. Let's do this actually. Let's clear all breakpoints. Delete all breakpoints. Yes. Let's come back down because I have a few left over. We'll set a breakpoint here. We're going to come back to mod tests. How exciting is this, Rory? We're like almost done.
I'm on the edge of my chair.
It's not bad. It's not like, explosions, but it's,
No, but it's consistent forward-moving progress. Okay?
Yeah, and
we can see literally by how far through the test the failure is happening, how many parts of the test are in fact passing.
Yeah. No, it's great. And we wrote this test yesterday saying here's what we want to have happen. So I feel pretty good at that. Empty works. We've got a link from Will out in the chat room here. Let's take a look at that. Color member name attribute class.
There's also caller file path and line number. Wow.
I love these guys. These guys are working so hard. Right?
I bet that doesn't work so well if you obfuscate a few things.
I don't know. Well, yeah, you never know.
Well,
but
line
it's
number probably isn't in there other than that anyway, so yeah, maybe.
Well, it's awesome stuff, though. It's really beautiful. Okay, so here we are. We're at our breakpoint now. We've got a skill check for athletics. To refresh our memory, we go find that. Where's that dictionary? I'm going to go move that up to the top. I don't know if can I move it to the top? Is it going to be? Let's see if edit and continue what they do with this.
It won't like you taking it away, but when you put it back in, it's going to go, oh, yeah, I know what he means. It's fine.
What if my code cleanup rules are going to put this up at the top? Let's see if that survived it. Oh, man.
Yeah, they might have moved a few other things at the same time.
I think it maybe didn't move it so much as it...
oh, it's adjusted. Or did you undo?
I undid it. I undid it is what I did. So
Awesome.
Hold on a
Welcome,
second.
Codebase Alpha, raiding with a party of people. How are we all today? You
Excellent.
catch us in the middle of debugging, and in fact, I should say not just debugging code, but debugging a test. We're making sure a test ensures that our various effect applying facilities in our D&D game are working appropriately. Things that apply a modification to varying skills and attributes.
That's right. And in fact, you're looking at the test right here. And we are, I think we're debugging it right here. We're in the middle of checking to see if this advantage skill check is going to work. And we're actually have to write the code to make it work. It's about to fail. So let's see. Let's go find our dictionary. There it is right there. Calculated mods. For some reason, I'm not remembering the name of this variable. Let's see. Where are we here? And I just want to come out and see what's going on here with this. What? Calculated mods is 0. Okay, this might be okay because we might be at the beginning of the test.
We
We
call
might
that a few times.
be here in the test. What's interesting is I don't see anything that indicates that we're here. So let's run it. Run it. Those are the two. Now we're coming back in again. I bet calculated mods is not empty. Yep, it's got 5 in it.
There we go. That's more
And
like it.
if we drill into that, you see we've got acrobatics.advantage. So in our skill checking that comes in is athletics. Do I have an athletics? I do have athletics.advantage. So what I want to do is this. I want to say if calculated mods, come on, really? What? Is it because of you down here? IntelliSense is not giving me calculated mods for some reason. Okay, if calculated mods dot contains key of skills dot toString like this, and then we're going to do something here. What's my problem here? Why? I'm totally.
Are we missing a parenthesis?
Yeah,
Just
we're
to
missing an
close.
ending paren, but
But the
still.
calculate mods is
What's going on here? For some reason, it's really.
Is that no? Okay, so we're in a character. It's a derived class of creature. So are we not able to access it because it's not protected, and it's maybe declared private by default?
No,
in the
I don't think
creature?
so. I'm going to hit F10 and see what happens. What's my problem? Due to its protection level, son of a character. Oh, yeah. Guess what? This needs to go in the wrong. This is in the wrong spot. Okay. That's my problem. That's exactly what it was. Creature, calculated mods. That's exactly what it was. I was like I was in disbelief that could be it, Rory. I was like, no, that's impossible. Let's go back into here and stop and come back in and debug one more time. By the way, kids, if this is your first time here, we give away a copy of CodeRushed at the end of every show. Today's going to be no different. All you have to do is follow if you're not a follower. And you want to be in the running for that. We've given away about 100 copies of CodeRushed, and we have about 600 followers. So your chances of winning are about 1 in 6. Not bad. Okay, so let's debug this test again. Come on. Yeah, the performance is, I'm not happy with it. I'm thinking about getting off the preview track right now in this moment. Here we go. Okay.
There we go.
So calculated mods, 0, run it. Second time, still 0. Now the third time it should have 5. It does. Now we want to check to see if it has that string
Which second time through we would expect it to
plus
have exactly that.
dot advantage. And I got to put these in constants here in a second. If it has that, in fact, what I really want to do is come in here let's do this. Let's do a couple things. Let's introduce a local for this. Call it base key, like this.
Mm-hmm.
And can I declare constant doing edit and continue? Is
Yeah.
Visual
I reckon
Studio
so.
going to be okay with that? Happy with that? Disadvantage is right there. And this is going to be disadvantage. Looks like Tesla RX is following us. Thanks for that follow. And don't tab to next reference. Tab to next reference used to work for strings, and it doesn't. And I would like it to work for strings again. Rory, if I could.
I was a particular fan of that as well. As you say, it's a great way of finding out where else a known phrase is. And certainly there are strings that should prove memorable to people. And tab to next reference does like faster than some other techniques.
Wait. That was CodeRushed right there trying to help me out here. I was saying declare the constant, but it also gave me, look at that, replace with constant. That's what I want right there. Good. Okay. And so if it's equal to base key plus advantage, then we're going to say, we want to say something to the effect of, I think we want to count right here is what we want. We're going to say VI add, I'll call it the vantage count, like that. We'll set it equal to 0. And so I think I really I can just come in and go plus plus. I don't, if it's 2 or whatever, I don't think I even need to check it if it's greater than or not, because right now the only way we're adding this in is if we're adding it if it's as a 1 here. It's a hard-coded 1. So I just need to see if it contains it. And if it does, then I'm going to say vantage count plus plus. And then I'm going to say else if calculate mod set this plus the disadvantage, like that. And let's hover over these, make sure those constant declarations worked with edit and continue. Maybe I have to hit F10. Do they have a value? Yeah, they do. Nice. Good job, guys. Okay, then I'm going to say if it's disadvantage, I'm going to say vantage count is minus minus. Okay, so this is going to implement the rule, right? If you have like 5 advantages and 1 disadvantage, it's still going to go back to 0, right?
Okay.
Okay, so then we're going to come down and we're going to say, hey, if vantage count is greater than 0, then we're going to return a dice roll of advantage. And then I'm going to, I want to return that like that. And we're going to say else if vantage count, I guess I don't need an else there. If vantage count is less than 0, then we're going to return disadvantage like that. And otherwise we're going to return normal. So that's what we're doing. This might fix the test right here. So there we go. There's our plus. And we're returning advantage. Nice. And we're going to come down here again, doing the same thing. On acrobatics, we've got it as well. And there's a return of advantage. Nice. And so now I think the test is
test
passing.
must pass, right?
Yeah. Again, we've got this. It's like a 5 to 8 second delay when we start debugging and when we stop.
Definitely a lot more than we used to.
Yeah, and for any folks who are, right here, I'm using version 16.0.1, preview 1.0, and I just installed it, and I'm feeling this after just installing it. I made no other changes since this morning, and just started noticing this happening. So I am suspecting it has to do with a change in this preview. So that's my suspicion. Straight Butter says, gotcha, I see what you're doing now. Should have been more patient. No, by no means do we want our listeners to be our viewers to be more patient. By no means. Will is saying drone, that's not working. Let's go. What's your time today, Rory?
Got about 10 more minutes maybe.
Okay.
If you've got stuff to do, that's good. But we have our passing test, right? Everything worked, and we are now green for go.
Yeah,
excellent.
We have closure on it, which is nice, right? And again, what happens is we've got a character with a test wizard. We set its we use these constants here to set its dexterity, strength, and speed, and then we test all those, make sure they're what we're expecting them to be. Then we equip the ring of leaping. Then we test them. I suppose we should also unequip and test again.
Good point.
Let's do that, and we'll do the unequip.
But that's a particularly quick thing to do now because we're literally just, we do the unequip and then we're pasting the assertions that we had at the start.
Looks like I don't have an unequip in here. Let's declare the function. Oh, where are we? We're in character. I don't want it in character anyway. I want to go over to into creature and go find my equip. Let's go find that equip. There it is. And we're going to put unequip right nearby it.
Mm-hmm.
And so an unequip should not remove it from the body, but should just find it, I think, and then I think. I'm looking for, wait, what is it again? I'm forgetting how to do this. Yeah, you guys are going to, do you remember what it is, Roy, if I want to find it?
I'm trying to think. What sort of container is equipment?
It's just a list of things. I'm wondering if I'm missing, it's an observable collection is what it is. Am I missing something in here to be able to get that?
Is there a first method?
Yeah,
which you can then pass a lambda
first.
identifying it.
Okay.
So I guess
Oh, wait.
item or X
Didn't
to
I do
item.
this? Didn't I do an FOD? First or default? FOD. I'm not sure if that was, I thought I created a template like that. FOD. There it is right there in parens right there. Item first default. So can I do an FOD here? There we go. Okay.
That's it.
All right. So that's what it is. FOD. Okay. So.
So we're finding where X leads to item, I suspect.
Yeah. So X dot name equals item dot name, like that, I think, is what we're going to do. And so we're going to say,
and therefore, if not null, of whatever that turns out to be, equipped item, perhaps, I guess.
yeah, like that. And so the idea is also if I have multiple items of the same thing, it just increments the count on the item. So I will only have one. I should only have one of any particular name there. And so now I want to say first item dot equipped is equal to false, like that. And need to recalculate mods is true. So we're just going to unequip it. We are not going to throw it down on the ground.
Is there any possibility that from wherever it is we call unequip, passing in an item, we would then, outside of that call, wish to readdress the item? Because your first item's equipped state is set to false, but if you were using item, the one being passed in as a model for things to go find, only the actual found things are unequipped, and the one that you're using as a model isn't unequipped.
Right.
That makes any sense?
Yeah, I got that. I'm kind of okay with that. Maybe we'll do, I guess I can also do this, where I just say where X is equal to item.
Yeah. Yeah, if we expect the instance to be the same, that would work.
I can do that.
And certainly for this test, it will work because we're using the same item to equip and unequip.
Yeah. So we'd unequip that way, the ring of leaping. We would not unequip it by setting a property because the item doesn't have a pointer or a reference to its owner, its creature owner. So the only way to unequip is to get the item and pass it in. So now if we do this, then that means that these tests should all go back to what they were, right there, like that. And so let's try that, running the test. And let's give away a copy CodeRushed.
Good plan. Failed.
Where's our fail? Okay, unequip. Let's go step through it. This is actually way more interesting. Let's not give away a copy CodeRushed yet. Let's debug it. Here's that delay.
It's interesting. There's no delay when we actively run the tests, because that does involve starting things up, running the test, and ending. It's only when we interrupt the process that it seems to be very much slower.
Yeah, going in and out. Or maybe let's not debug it. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Okay, so here we go. We're going to step inside here. There's the item. The item is equipped. We're going to set it to false. Need to recalculate mods is true. Okay. Is my problem maybe here? That I'm not recalculating mods? I think that's my problem. And I think what I need to do is I think I need to encapsulate this field and use property instead. And let's go find that, this piece right here. Let's expand the getter. And let's do this. If need to recalculate mods, or no, wait, it's, what is it called? It's called recalculate mods if necessary.
Yep.
So that should fix it, I think.
It compiles. Let's ship it!
Oh man, straight butter is not a level 1. There's something wrong here. I'm gonna go after that bug. I think Yeah. Let's level up at least. We'll level you up right now, straight butter.
Level up.
Okay, we just leveled.
Celebration.
We leveled you up, but you should be already leveling up by yourself, because we've seen you before in here. Seeing a couple shows should get you at least. I debugged one difficult bug for 8 hours today. Holy cow, World Wake.
I know how that feels.
I do
That's
too.
Not fun.
It's the worst part of programming. It absolutely is. Hugo Doll typed in level. What's our level command to find out about? Oh, it's just a bang and then a question mark will tell you what
Like so.
level you're at. Yeah, like that. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to go after that bug in a second here. I wanted to... so now I think that might have fixed it, because we were going into the dice roll first. We went into the skill check here, and now when we go into calculated mods,
Well, that's unexpected.
yeah, it is. Hold on a second. I'm going to paste this into our chat room there. Take a look at that point. I just want the devs to look at this, see what they think. Okay, and am I exiting out? I think I'm exiting out of my debug. It happened right as I hovered over calculated mods. Yeah, so we had encapsulated that. We hovered over it, had a side effect associated with it, and then we had that bug just occurred. So let's we'll what do we do on this? Let's.
I was about to say, on the upside, we managed to get out of our debug session quickly, but I'm not sure that actually happened.
No, we
Are
did
still...
not. Yeah, we're still not responsive. Oh, I'm so disappointed. This totally should have been. Should not have slipped out of Microsoft based on what I know about how they test. There should not be. That's the only thing that goes against me thinking that it's them. I also am thinking, what if I started a second instance of Visual Studio? Would we still have the problem? What's going on here? I think it thinks we hit F5 to run. Hold on, I'm going to shut everything down. I hit Shift F5, and again, wow. It escaped, says Hugo Dahl. Well, like the best part after realizing the fix was that I realized I managed to make broken code work previously, and now I have to go back and rework that part too since the results are incorrect. Yeah, so that's where test cases, I think, can save your butt in this kind of scenario.
Yeah.
I'm like, often, like when I made a number of changes, like when we made the changes to our creature for speed and I'm sorry, not for speed, but for strength and dexterity. And we use the base speed, the base strength, and the base dexterity. These changes we made, these broke a number of test cases, right? But the fact that we had the test cases it was great because I was like, okay, excellent. We can now go back in there and fix. If we didn't have the test cases, we wouldn't know code was broken, right? So definitely test cases are your friend when you're going in to do these kinds of modifications.
Nobody wants to go and do manual regression testing, do they? That's just the worst.
All right, so where's my mod tests here? It looks like I've lost the file here. Let's get CodeRushed to help me out here. Mod test. There it is right there. Okay, let's bring up the test runner and we'll run everything is what we'll do. Let's just do this. We'll run all the tests. And so open those up. At least we'll have a sense of how things are going. Here we go. The tests have started. And so our mod test, that's the one that was failing. I think it's going to pass now with that one change of wrapping that, the dictionary inside
9
of the
passed,
getter.
0 failed so far. That's a good average.
Rory's so good. Come on. Taking a while right in here. Oh, no, wait, it's stopped.
I don't think it's finished. It's decided
stopped.
not to do any further.
I've seen this happen before, and I forget what the problem is on this. This is where continuous test would help you out, says Will. Yeah, I'm nervous about jumping over to that, but just because of perceived delays, and then now where am I going to watch this thing? I embrace the idea, and I'm just nervous I haven't moved across yet to try it. What test framework are you using? I'm using, I think, the Visual Studio ones. Visual Studio test tools, unit testing, but we could do anything. But I think that there is, I saw this before and I don't remember what, let's go into Visual Studios and do the same thing. See what Visual Studios test runner does here. Test, Windows, Test Explorer.
It's worth knowing that despite this being MS tests in this particular case, CodeRushed does detect and support and run tests from all the major frameworks in this area, and indeed a mixture of them if that's how your particular solution is made up just as validly.
Oh, here we go. Stack Overflow. That's the problem. That's when I've seen it. That's the piece that helped me out. Rory, though, here's what I want, though. Look at this. Mm-hmm. When this happens... debug output, I want this thing highlighted right here.
Okay.
Right? Because it ended and it was hard to find it. I want this. I want that baby right there, highly visible. Yeah, Visual Studio does the same thing. Doesn't tell you what's going on there either. But I love it when we have opportunities to be better. Okay, so we've got a Stack Overflow in there. Let's go into Creature. I think I know where that is. Calculated mods. The problem is here. It's this and this. Those were resulting in the Stack Overflow because it was going back accessing the property. Whoops, not there. Just this one.
Good question.
And then let's go in here for a second. And also this. No, wait, that one, that's a function. Hold on. I just have to drill in to make sure we're using only the field inside of here.
So straight better just ask the question, is that a CodeRush feature we're looking at? And I'm assuming you're referring to the test runner there. Yes, that is a CodeRush feature. It is our specific test runner. It shows the hierarchy of all the varying tests, shows the success levels, the length of time that they took to run. And the various tabs that are produced are information derived from the varying test framework. So we've got the details, the console output, errors, and indeed debug output. So I think we did some stats on this a little while back, Mark, didn't we? And we found that it was pretty much the fastest test runner that we could find amongst all of the competitors that were available at the time.
Yeah.
So we basically want to target your performance. That is to say, not so much that of your code, although that's certainly an aspect of it. We want to make you the best developer you can be, okay? And therefore give you the best tools in order to achieve that. So
yeah. So I just
hope that answers your question.
Here we go. This feature right here, the test runner, is killer if you've got multiple assemblies containing test cases, you can run those test cases in parallel. So you can specify the max number. And this is where we get these speed benefits. In other words, you can, if you've got tests that can be run in different assemblies without changing the results of the test, in other words, you're not like both working from similar databases and things like that, then you can actually run your tests in parallel with our test runner, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I think that's fixed it now. I keep coming in here trying to do this, to run this test. Let's try one more time. Run the test. I'm just going to run it. See what happens. Test started. Visual Studio is still responsive. I'm hovering over the menus, and you can see behind the mouse they are highlighting there.
0 passed, 0 failed, 0 ignored.
That's weird. I don't even know what's going on now with that. Let's go back up here again. Are we at we might still be at, let's do this. Let's debug it, actually, is what we should have done. Let's stop the runner, and let's go in and debug it. I think we've got a Stack Overflow. That's what I think is happening.
I think that's quite likely sounding all
so
right.
I think we still have...
Maybe just missed one of our references as well.
Yeah, that's what I think is happening. Mom's going to be cross with you. Aren't you past your bedtime, Rory?
I was just looking at that. I am certainly coming up on slightly more pressure to go, but I'm curious at the end of the day how this particular issue will turn out. So I'll hang on a couple moments longer.
So this is what my new plan, kids, by the way, is to make the show better and better as Rory has to leave, so that he's more and more inclined to stay longer. But I want to. The key is to make it incrementally better. Okay,
so
I'm
I don't notice. Yeah.
I'm F10ing through these as quickly as I can, and I'm anticipating.
Well, we know we're good up until unequip at the very best, very worst. Ooh, you know, I say that, and yet.
What was that?
That was not.
We died on equip.
Expected.
I think the Stack Overflow is on equip, maybe.
Which is strange because it felt like it was working earlier, and we'd got past that code. Unless we've changed.
My change killed that code is what I think happened here.
Yeah.
So let's go look at equip. What's going on in equip?
And we say equipped. We say need to recalculate. That's pretty.
That's fine. I think it was. I thought it was the problem there, but I don't think it's the problem anymore. Let's set a breakpoint here. Clear. Debug the test. Meanwhile, I feel like I want to do a code review of the. Come on, Visual Studio is not responsive now. Oh, hey Rory, we need to record some feature of the week videos for CodeRushed. Can you do that tomorrow after?
Yeah. Yeah, that should work.
Finish, or I guess we will finish. You'll go home and then you'll do it from home. Is that how you do it? Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. R equal F10. I'm just going to jump in here. F10, F10, F10. That's all good. Now we're here. Let's go in here. I hit, okay, unhandled, Stack Overflow. I hit F11. Oh, I know why, because it was a property access right there. Okay, so let's go into that. Dexterity. What's my problem? Get mods, dexterity, recalculate mods if necessary. Okay. I think we're good there.
Now
Get calculated mod.
Code, yeah.
Calculated mods. Boom. So, yeah, it's got to be recalculated mods if necessary. Is doing it.
You nip back into there a second?
You know what I can do? Wait, what'd you say?
I thought I saw a reference to the property within recalculate mods if necessary.
Yeah, let's go. We can go look and try and find it visually, but I can also put some code in here too. This is it right here.
Wrong.
It's calculated mods. You know what I need to do? I need to go into the property name and tab to next reference through that is what I need to do. Wait. Where is it? There it is right there. Let's go to the calculated mods. Get skill check dice. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm really not liking this change. The more I am, can't rename it. Why can't I rename it? I bet I can rename it now. Yeah, the more I'm playing with this, the less I want to fix it this way. I'm not liking it. Instead, I'm going to just add the code to recalculate. Or I just thought of another fix. Hold on. I think this will fix it as well. That should fix it. That should prevent a stack overflow. Right? By setting it to false here, then this, before we do anything, this is the code here that somehow it's accessing it. It's going to come back in and it's going to say, no, we don't need. We're good. I think. So I think that's got a shot. This is so funny. I feel like I've gone after this saying, I think this is going to pass, you know, like I want to say about 5 or 6 times. I said, okay, now this is going to work. Let's see if this works.
This is the one.
I think this might be the one.
Is it.
NX Thor says recursion does not need an end. The user does.
I was reading that and I was wondering whether that was a potentially negative statement towards users.
The user just needs to get
user.
Yeah, recursion is fine going, well, with regards to Stack Overflows, we do need an end from the standpoint of, you know, we want to keep the app running. We don't want to Stack Overflow it. Replying to WorldWake, recursion tends to need to end somewhere. There's the WorldWake comment right there. Yeah, I agree. In this case, it's not really recursion, though. I would argue. Okay, so I am going to. Let's get out of here. So F10, whoops, that was F11 I pressed. Let's go back. F10, 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 F10. Okay, we got past those, got past those. Now we're unequipping, and now got past those and those and those. Finally. Okay. Success.
Woot.
Okay. So, okay, and I like the fix. The fix is not bad. I'm liking the fix again. All right, let's get out of here. Let's ask ourselves the question.
You know what time it is?
You know what time it is, kids? It is time to give away. We do this every episode. We give away
It's a brand new car.
a brand new car. Wait,
Dance battle.
yeah, no. I've just been told it's a dance battle we're giving away, not a brand new car today.
Yeah. Okay.
No, or it could in fact be a
Code Rush giveaway.
That's right. We're giving away a copy of CodeRushed. I said CodeRushed.
Code Rush.
That's right. I
Way
said
better than a brand new car.
Code Rush.
it's way better than a brand new car. You can write code with it. Brand new car. You can't write code with your car.
No, you can't.
Today,
Not with a car.
Today's winner is going to drop out of the Visual Studio menus up above. Here.
Dev Express.
What? Don't do that.
Horvey 32.
Horvey 32. Good job. I'll contact you, Horvey 32, on Twitch DM with instructions on how you can get instructions for downloading CodeRushed. Your free copy. It's good for a year. And I think we will we'll say thank you very much to everybody. Thanks so much to Rory. Thanks so much to Hugo out there,
rocks.
and Will, and Paraxin is out there, and NX Thor, and WorldWake, Straight Butter. I'm going to say goodbye to you, Rory, because I don't want to keep you hanging. I want to go look and see if I can find that bug that's Straight Butter. Basically, our level calculation seems low, is what's going on, and so I want to do that. Okay. Well,
I will catch you tomorrow at the same time.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
Cheers, bud.
All right, bye. Okay, so there's thanks to Rory as well. Rory rocks. We've got the test passing. Super happy about that. I'm going to start up everything, so we're going to have like the full suite of overlays and stuff running, so we can play with drones and things like that. And I want to step through it, so we'll do that. Let me switch over to this view. And yeah, this is bugging me. Okay, there we go. And now I need to stop all my instances of Chrome. And I need to also, is there anything else I need to kill? Looks like, there we go. Close all those windows. And we've got a disconnect there. And now I'm going to start the run here. And so this is going to load up our Dungeons and Dragons main control app. It's going to start up our overlay bot and our Mr. Announcer bot. And those are all going to be running. And we're going to try and figure out what our level calculation problem is about. That's over in Mr. Announcer bot. And the concern is that Straight Butter has watched a couple shows I've seen and was ranked at level 0. So I think that we need to at least do a +1 in there no matter what. And I think the code I'm about to write is probably going to level everyone up by 1 level. But it feels like the base code is incorrect. Let's just see if CodeRushed can help us find the level code out here. Get level for the viewer. That's where I think we want to be. So it's the moderator offset.
Let's do this.
Plus number of shows watched. You've got to divide by 12. So you have to watch at least 12 to get 1 level. Plus number of chat messages, at least 100 chat messages, plus coins collected, 100. Yeah, this is the problem. The get level needs to have a +1 on it, is what it needs to do inside of there. That's my basic concern. Bonus, you get a bonus if you're a subscriber as well. That's happening out here. We don't have a bonus for, let's go ahead and do this. Let's send a chat message out here. Why aren't we getting a breakpoint here? Well, you just said a let's do this out, and I'm not seeing a breakpoint hit. Can you do like a fixed or something like that, Will? Maybe I can do that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I'm at a breakpoint now. Okay, good. So now we're at this. I want to put a to do out here. I just wanted to get a breakpoint here so I can say to do. Add a bonus for following. You'd think that would be easy to get, but we haven't been able to find that out here in the chat message. The chat message that comes in, it gives me the username. Let's see, that's going to be down. The user ID, the username, but it doesn't give me if you are a follower. It tells me if you're a moderator or subscriber, but not if you follow. So we've got to come out, somehow get a list of followers, find out if that's the case. Down here in get level, that was the other change I want to make. We're going to add a big fat 1 to the end of that, +1. So everybody goes up 1 level as of now, as of this change. And then I'm just hitting run, and then we're back. So that, I think, should solve Straight Butta's situation. And now, Straight Butta, if you type in a bang and then a question mark like that, you will see what your user level is and what kinds of things that you can do. And there we go, Straight Butta. Your level is now 2, which is good. So that means you would have been 1 before. So that's it. And we've done that. And with that, I think I want to do just some fun stuff before we end the show here. We'll show some of the special effects and things we've got out here. We've got this potion. And I've got this on consume. So we built this. This is all stuff we built in the show here. And if I do a test effect on this, we should be able to see this whole thing come out here. Oh, but I don't hear it. Why don't I hear it? The test effect is really not working. Now I'm sad. Why is that? Awesome. Dragon front overlays here. Maybe I need to refresh that. Let's refresh the dragon front overlay. That's reloading. See if this helps.
Simon Gary rocks.
Yeah, it totally validates it. TBD gamer. Yes, absolutely. It validates it. Let's see if the test effect works now. There we go. Cool. So when the potion is consumed, it'll do that. Very cool. Like that. And did I have any other fun things here? This was not, I think, as fun. but just kinds of different kinds of things here. Oh, this one I think is fun. This is like an impact hit. Oh, with for some reason a scroll closing sound. We don't need that in there. And this Plud's potion swoosh we don't need, and an unnamed sound effect which we don't need as well. But we can come in here, add a new sound effect. Let's come in here and grab the axe thrown sound effect here, and then move this over. This is fun stuff here. So we'll do this and test the effect. Oh, man, that was a hard hit. So yeah, can't wait to do this. Your test orbit, is it not working? Looks like it's not working, but it is working over here.
That was a close one.
Yeah, it was a close one. It is working over there. Why isn't test orbit working? Test orbit is it another one that needs to be refreshed? That's in, I think, the overlay bot. Or the drone game, possibly. Let's see, is the drone game working? Let's see if I type in drone. Drone is working, so I think the overlay bot needs to be refreshed as well, and then test orbit will work. Let's go into that. Properties, refresh cache. There, I've just refreshed that cache. You're seeing scroll bars around the edges of the screen. And let's test that. Let's do that again because I like that. Oh, man. See, getting that timing right, it says the actor is so awesome. All right, so now let's see if the test orbit now works now here. There it is. So now it's running off of the screen. So very, very cool stuff. So yeah. So neat stuff, fun stuff that we're doing. And now I'm thinking, where's that test effect? There it is right there. Boom, like that. Nice. Boom. Yeah, fun stuff. So yeah, this is all for a Dungeons and Dragons live Twitch stream that I'm helping to create with some friends of mine, and we are going. It's essentially comedy Dungeons and Dragons, and basically we're setting it up so that these effects can happen live over the stream as we're working. So if like somebody throws this at me, it might go like this, throws this potion at me, and then it hits, that might be what happens. So we can do these different kinds of effects. That's what we're building. Now, having said that, and having done a little playing, you know what I want to do now that Rory's gone, is I want to, I think, go into, I want to play with the dice. Wait, should I do that without Rory, or should we do it with Rory? Maybe we should do that with Rory. And we should just end it. But I'm having so much fun. Let's play with the dice for just a little bit and see what we can get going there. I was thinking it would be nice to have Rory here because, I'm as I move on, I sometimes make mistakes. As I've been programming for a while, and Rory's often good pair programmer. But we'll see. Will Bennett says I'm thinking too hard. It's from this right here. Yeah, this is my favorite repurposing of a special effect we built. So this is an emitter that a particle system that we've built on the show, and Will it was just smoke, and Will has repurposed this one to indicate whenever I'm thinking really hard. So that's what I think I'll do. I think I'm going to play with the dice. So let's look at that. I'm going to bring up. Actually, I can bring up the overlay, and you can see it. It's going to maybe kill the drones. No, it's not. Okay. So this is the dice right now as they exist. I want to change this a little bit. I've got, let's take a look at the code for that, and you can see what we're doing with this. This is in our overlay manager, in our pages. It's in our die roller.cshtml. Now, this is super messy. I want to move this over into JavaScript or TypeScript, but I haven't done that yet. And I'm not exactly sure what I need to do to move it over to TypeScript. I've only done this like once before, and I'm not an expert at this. By the way, folks who are out there with your drones, if you're wondering how to fly them around, you can just type in the letter of the direction you want to move. So L for left, U for up, D for down, R for right, and then follow that by an optional number of seconds you want to move. And that's how you can move around. All right. So what I want to do is, I think the first thing I want to do is I want to show the walls. I'm going to change this show walls just to true. right here. And I just want to show you what's going on in here. So let's go into the 3D dice. I'm going to refresh that cache right there. And here come the walls. So those are the walls, the things in red that you're seeing here. Those are the walls for the dice. And so what I've done is I've created walls around the bottom and the right edge, the bottom, and the top and the left. And I've also created a wall right here, which all the videos, the player videos are going to be in this row right here. So I decided I want the dice to kind of bounce off of them. So I've got a wall right there. So I'm going to turn the walls off now, like this. And we're going to refresh the cache right there, like that. And so now we've got the walls off and it's just rolling the dice without the walls there. So that's one of the things that's happening there. The other thing I want to do is I want to hook up the sound effects to this. And I want to hook up the sound effects. Now, I've got, if I come over to, let me show you what I've got over here. Let's go to, bring this up here. So this is my local host, but if I go out to my die roller right here, and then I come down and right click it and choose inspect and go to the console, you'll see a number of console messages that are coming in here. Every time there is a collision, I'm sending two pieces of information. The target velocity, which is the velocity of the collision. That's what that is. No, wait, no, I'm wrong. The target velocity is the velocity of the target, the dice, how fast the die is rolling. And the target is the first piece listed here. The second piece of information that I'm sending is what is colliding, die versus floor, die versus die, or die versus wall. Okay, those are the things that I'm doing there. So those are the messages I'm sending. So what I want to do is I want to hook those up to sound effects is what I want to do. Now, I've got somewhere in here, I haven't done this in a while, I haven't been in TypeScript in a while, but somewhere out in here, I think I've got, let's do this. Let's look for this. Let's look for play. And look for only in TypeScript files for that. Find all. So, zap sound effects. So, what's going on here? It's an array of HTML audio elements. Okay, that's cool. That's essentially what I need to start building out here is what I need to do. So this is the folder here in game dev, assets, sound effects, dice. I have a bunch of different dice sounds here. And so this is die when a die hits another die, and they're increasing levels of sound intensity. So what I want to do is I want to hook these all up here. So let's double click this and you can hear it play here. So that one you could barely hear. It was just barely a click here. There's die 2, die 3, die 4, die 5, die 6. So they're getting louder and louder. When it hits the floor, those are those. And then they're settling. And these are just repeating each one, but they're getting a variety of settles as well. The stream is great training for ignoring distractions. Yeah, it is a little bit. Okay, so those are the pieces that I have out there. I want to create this. I think the first thing I want to do is break up this piece into, I want to put this thing out over into its own TypeScript file is what I think I want to do. That's what I think I want to do. And the question is, do I want to put the whole thing there? And I kind of feel like the answer is yeah, I do. So let's do that. Let's grab everything down to a init. So that's all the script that we've got. And let's just try moving just this, only this, over into its own file. And so let's go over into our TypeScripts and let's put it in Dragon H, I think. Or should we create our own folder called die? I think I'm going to create a new folder here. Not sure why that showed up. And is it because I'm running it's not letting me do this? Probably. Let's go see what's going on over here. Let's just open up the folder and we'll do it manually here. We'll create a new folder, call it dice, and go inside there. Let's create a new text document, and I'm going to call this dice roller.ts. Yeah, we're going to change it. Then I'm going to come in here. Nice. It wouldn't let me do it before. I'm going to say, or wait, we're just going to come in there. There it is. And now I'm going to paste that. Then I'm going to come out to here. And now I've got to get, now the question is, how do I get that from, hold on, let's go to index. How am I getting it here? It's like a path like that is what it's going to need to be. So it's going to be game dev source game engine. No, what is it? Game engine. Those are those pieces. So it's not game engine. It's going to be dice roller. So right here, dice, and then dice roller. So with that change, so I've got basically an empty script tag right in here. And I think I can delete all of that code. Right there. So I can save that. Save all, then come back out to here and refresh, see if it still works. It does not. Cannot read a pen child of null. Container. Get element by ID 3JS. That's not working. 3JS is in fact right here, but there may be a also, why do we have cannot find 3 here? What do we need to do for this? I'm not sure if we need to import that or not. Will Bennett, so questions. Cannot find 3 out there from my TypeScript file is question number 1. Question number 2 is, for some reason, document get element by ID is not working, even though the ID is right there. Is it because of this? Hold on. I think I know what it is. The ID hasn't been seen yet. Is that going to solve it? Let's see if that does it, solves it. There it is. Okay, cool. So that's good. All right, back to normal. All right, excellent. So next, now that I've got my TypeScript class out here, my dice roller, I think I want to, yeah, so I still have this question, Will, with regards to, I wonder if I need these. This path is probably not right. How were we getting that before? Canon was coming from here. Let's see if that works. No. Dice roller. We're up there. This may be even more. Wait. Where's it going to be out here? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm wondering if we need some sort of import here. You need to get rid of all. Yeah, okay. So the question is here's the question, Will. I've moved the code from here, CSHTML, over to this TypeScript file. And it's giving me errors all over here. Cannot find name 3. And so basically I need some kind of thing like this, I think, so it can find it, so TypeScript can find it. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. The code still works. I just want my design time experience to be good. That's kind of what I'm looking for. If you have any suggestions on that, let me know. I want to also find, let's go back into that last find that we did. Play and find all. Is that HTML element piece? So we need something like that is what we need. And the question is, where do I want to, I think I want to create my own class. Sound effects is what I think I want to do. So let's go create a new file in here. Call it Dice Sounds. Like that. Take all of this and let's create a new class in here. And we're going to call this Dice Sounds. This. And so we're going to say the hit dice. It's going to be an array of those. What is it not? Okay. I think that was because it was a global piece. So hit floor. And hit wall. And I might also have a sound effect for when it hits the player wall, where it's a different one. It's kind of like a boink, like that. So those are those pieces right there. Then I want to say, okay, hit dice. I want to do something like this. So load sound effects. That's exactly the function name I want right there. Load sound effects. And I want to pass in hit dice, that array. I want to pass in a count and a string. And then I wanted to grab these, die 1 through 6. So hit dice. So let's do a string die. And what is it? How many is it? It's 6. Like that. Load sound effects. There we go. Okay, so this first one is going to be an array. One is going to be the base file name. Arg2 is going to be the num sounds. Okay, and this is going to return a void. Okay. The 3.js script defines 3 as a global variable. Yeah, no, I get that, Will. The problem though is that that script is not referenced or known or seen from diceroller.ts. So as a result, I'm getting errors here where design time errors that I didn't get before. It all resolves itself when it runs because 3 is known, but I was hoping to get rid of these underlines, these squiggly underlines here on the 3. That's what I was hoping for. Okay. This dot hit dice. There we go. That makes me happier. And okay, so constructor. So we're going to load sound effects for that. We're going to load sound effects for the floor, and that's going to be floor. I think like this. And floor's got how many? Floor's got 4. And we're going to load sound effects for the wall, and the wall has got 5. And we've also got a settles. Settles. Like that. Like that. And settles. And settles has 7. So settles is the sound the dice make when it's settling. Where is Dice Roller imported? It should work the same with the other files you import via script. Let's look at that. It is imported right here. That's where it's imported. So, am I answering the question you're asking, Will? Okay. So now we've got our the load sound effects, not doing anything yet. Let's go look at the where we load the zap sound effects up. What are we doing here? Something like that is what's happening right there. Okay. So we're going to do something like this to num sounds. And we're going to say file index. We'll say strange should not squiggle then. That's going to equal to I plus 1, like that. And we're going to put this here. And then our folders.assets. How do we get folders in here? That's in our game engine, I think. Folders.ts. So let's go look at the drone game, the drone overlay. There it is right there. And we'll get folders in here, like that. So interesting. It doesn't, it did kind of do what you just talked about, Will. Squiglification code is broken. Yeah, so it did do exactly what you're saying here. Look at that, right? All I did, the only change I made was I went in Dice Roller and I added the reference, right? But these references here are not apparently enough for Dice Roller to clear these errors. So that's kind of what it looks like is happening there. So folder.assets, sound effects, electric zap. Well, we don't want that. We want to go to a different folder. And I kind of want to do a console log here where I just do this, like that, and I want to send that out before I actually do any code here. Let's do that. Okay. Let's send the folder assets out. We need to create a new instance of dice sounds. So we'll do that from our dice roller. And I think I'm going to create a variable right up here of that type. Like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. And so now we should see when we refresh. So let's go over to here. And let me change the view to that for a second. And we're going to refresh it. And bring up the console and refresh. Let's clear the console. Something's unusual is happening. Taking a long time. By the way, what's funny is I'm still running the old version here in OBS in their dialogue. So you can see the dice rolling there, but they're not on the main screen anymore. I feel like I've made a mistake somewhere. But there's nothing. It should be a browser breakpoint. Yeah, I don't know. You think there's a breakpoint? I don't think so. I'm going to go over here. We're in Signal R. Oh, you're right. Debugger paused. I don't understand where it's getting these breakpoints from. Wow. Yeah, you're totally right. Okay. So now we've done that. Now let's check the console log. And can we find, I guess it's going to be up at the very top. I'm not seeing anything that shows that it's tried to load. There we go. Dice sounds is not defined. All right, let's go fix that. That's probably a problem here. We need it before we get to the dice roller. Like that. Let's come back over and refresh. There we go. Let's go back up. There you go. Folder is just equal to assets. So let's go check that out. Is that going to work? Assets. So now we need to add to that this path right here is what we need to do. So we'll do that. Let's go back into the dice sounds and we're going to say uncomment this code. Let's get these forward slashes. And then this is going to be what happened? Why did I lose my syntax highlighting here? Base file name. It should totally be this. But I don't understand why I lost it. Let me copy that to the clipboard and undo this and see what was the change there. Oh, the $sign. I see what I did. Okay. There we go. So the base file index, base file name, these are all WAV files? They are. Okay, excellent. So that's going to load those up. those sound effects. And the sound effects are going to be of the of which kind. Let's call the sounds like that, and it'll be that. So I think that's going to load up those particular sounds. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to play. So the dice sounds, the calling code, let's go look at it. Dice sounds is there. Let's go find our console log here. Oops, console.log. Another delay. All right, there's our console log right there. Okay, and we want to do something here. Basically, dice sounds dot play dice sounds dot hit dice. Nope. Play dice hit like that. And I want to do this. I think I want to say if e target name equals die and e dot body name is also equal to die, like that. If those two are the same, then, whoops, let's get my triple equals on here. Okay, if they're both the same, yeah. Yeah, you got it. I think you fixed it the same thing. You saved me the same time I saved myself. Actually, probably sooner because of the lag. So, no, you got it. All right. So we're going to do a dice hit. The dice hits the die. Otherwise, we're going to say, hey, if the target name is die and the body name is equal to the floor. We should go check these out. What are they? They are lowercase. Okay. So we're going to say floor. So we have die hit die. We have die, whoops. We have die hit floor and we have die hit wall. So this is going to be play a floor hit. And we're going to have one more down here that's going to say wall. This is going to be play a wall hit. And I want an else in front of this. And an else in front of this one as well. And the other thing I want to do is I want to describe the severity of the hit. So let's look at the numbers we have that are coming in here over on this side here. Let's clear the console. And so when we've got die hitting the floor, let's scroll up and we'll look at some of these here. So here we've got die hitting the wall, 22. It's across the board, 22 meters per second. That's unusual, like unexpected, like a lot of that. Die hit floor. Okay, so the floor drops down to 5 meters per second. What's interesting is the target velocity is not changing on these multiples that we're getting down here. I'm expecting to see the target velocity. Well, does drop down. Okay. And I assume these values were meters per second, but in looking at these, I'm thinking that's not the case. Hey, Codebase Alpha. So I guess what I'm looking at is a range here of what I want to do, and in terms of figuring it out, figuring out how many of these, what level we should be at. I essentially want to hand in a percentage. So I'm going to say for yeah, they look like they are around, I would say between 40 and let's do this. I don't want to do any of these. Let's go in here and say let target velocity equal that. And I'm going to comment that out actually for now. And the relative velocity we've got up at the top as well. That's going to be a number. And let's change this into let. And let. And now I want to...
Miller.
Yeah, what you got? You better give me a nice variable name right now, mister. Okay, so target speed, there we go. Fixed. You're not giving... There it is. You finally gave it to me. Thank you, Will. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, fine. There's no vector. It's right. He's right. There's no... I could almost argue... No, I can't in this case. I absolutely can't. I was going to say I could almost argue plus or minus is technically a vector, but I only get pluses here with the math square root. So so he's right. All right. So what I want to do is I want to do something along these lines of the relative velocity is indicating the relative velocity divided by, I think, about 60 is what I want to put in there. I think about the max I've seen it is about 60 or 70, somewhere in that range. So as it approaches that, it'll use the ending, the more powerful sound effects. And when the velocity is smaller, it'll use the less impactful ones. The floor hits the same. I think the floor hits are not as hard in what we've seen, and the wall hits are also similarly seemingly not as hard because of the where they are. So there's the wall hit. Then the only other thing I want to do here is if we are impacting the floor and our target speed, if our target speed is less than, say, 7, in the examples I've seen, then what I want to do is I want to say dice sounds dot play settle, and that's going to play one of the random settles that are out there. Okay, and I think that's it. Now I just got to declare these and actually do something. And and if this works, it's like, let's see, did that declare it? Yep, it's right there. All right, let's go do these others as well. Let's do this, declare it, and do this, declare it. Let's go inside, get all of these. Let's put them down here. Okay, and this is going to be, I think we're going to call this a percentage, like this. And And then this is how we're going to break this into the individual pieces that are out here. So we're going to, I want to say, let's create a new number here, call it index. And we'll say get index. And we're going to pass in the percentage. And for a wall hit, there are 5. So now what I want to do is I want to declare a constant. Can I do this with CodeRushed? Looks like I cannot yet do it. So let's declare a new constant of type number. And that is going to be num wall sounds, like that. That's equal to 4, 5, like that. Put that there. Put this here. Then I want to maybe we'll do this instead of saying get index. We'd say get audio, like that. Take the array length instead of 5. Oh yeah. Yeah. Good suggestion. That's better. It's better. It's so funny. I was like totally thinking that, planned to do that when I started this, when I started writing this code, and completely forgot about that. All right. So get audio like this. So it's going to get me the right one based on that piece right there. And that is going to be of type HTML audio element, like that. And then we're going to call this just audio. And then we're going to say if not null, then we're going to say audio dot, I think it's play. Something like that. That's what I think it is. Let's go over into the drone.ts and double check how that's playing there. Yeah, it's just play. That's all it is. Okay, cool. All right, let's do get audio. Oops, hit the wrong key. Declare method get audio. Something's not working. There it is. Just took a long time. Wow. Yeah, performance issues in this build, it seems. Okay, so there's get audio. Let's make it do this instead. Will Bennett is collecting coins feverishly. I think, are we going to do an exchange program for each coin you collect? You get an actual, coin from some currency in the world. Well, I don't know. All right, so get audio is here, and then here. I think I need. A try except around the play call. A try catch, I mean, around the play call. I don't have one here. Huh. I think that's needed, but, okay. So, let's change this up a little bit. Let's create this dot play. That. Yeah, even the syntax highlighting is taking a while to catch up. This dot play, and this is going to be the hit floor. Not sure why it doesn't like that. Let's do this. TP. Are you throwing? Siege Games is rating with 34. Thanks, Siege Games. Hope you had a great stream. How was your stream, Siege Games? Let us know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in the process of trying to get sound effects to play when the dice roll. So I've got some dice rolling here that's going to be in an overlay for a Dungeons and Dragons game. And I want to create I'm attempting to play a sound every time there's a collision in the, in the real world or in the virtual world, every time the dice hits against something. So I've got all these different sound effects that I've got out here for when a die hits another die, when the die hits the floor, when the die settles, when the die hits the wall. I've got all these sound effects, and the sound effects increase in intensity as the number increases over here. And so we're using things like the velocity of the collision, the relative velocity, and the ultimate velocity of the die as it's settling to determine when to play the sound effects. And the goal is with this combination of something like 20 or so sounds, and if performance is good, we'll be able to make it sound as if it's really being rolled. The dice are really being rolled in a real world environment. So we're hoping to get it to feel and sound very realistic. So that's what we're working on right now. We're just kind of getting through that. So we're in TypeScript right now. We are working both TypeScript and C#, and we've got some crazy stuff going on. By the way, actually, let me show you some of the other crazy stuff we have. Since you folks are out here, we're making, I mentioned Dungeons and Dragons. I'm creating an app that a Dungeon Master can use to be able to run the effects, special effects for a Dungeons and Dragons live stream on Twitch. That's what we're doing. And so, for example, I've got a potion over here, and when I consume it, I can have special effects take place. And if we do a test on these effects and we run them, you can hear it, and there's the special effect. Now, that special effect took place over there because that was impacting the active player, and the active player, the video of the active player would be over there, at least for the tests that we're doing and running these. We can change the active player by changing this page right here, which, as you can see, brings these kinds of overlay effects over on top of here so that we can see what's going on. There's a performance issue with this in terms of scrolling, in terms of it coming out. It seems to be coming out slowly, and I haven't quite debugged that yet, but that's kind of the idea of what's happening there. And then now that we've changed this to the second player, now when we choose test effect, let me go back over into a place where the effects can actually be seen. And let's actually, I want to go back to my die roller too, because the die roller is the piece we're working on here. There's the die roller right there. When we do the test effect on that, let's see if that works. Axo Cody is now following. Thanks for that follow, Axo Cody. We're just waiting for the overlay to finish over here, to finish its loading. Anyway, you can see that you'll see that in a second when that comes back. The overlays are still loading. We can tell because of the scroll bars around the stream. Once those are loaded, we'll be able to do that and make that change and see it. So let's see. We're going through. There's the wall hit right there, the floor hit, the dice hit dice. And there's the place settle. The place settle, we want to say get audio. We want to say, we want to do a random here. I think we got math.random. Is that right? Why don't I see that? There it is. Okay, math.random. And I think it's times like 100, something like that. Or no, wait. Our percentages coming in should be between 0 and 1, should be close to that. So we're just going to get a random number here to pick one of those settles randomly, is what we're going to do there. And then finally in percentage, when we declared this, get audio. No, that's wrong. Play is going to need to take this as a type. It's going to return void, and it's going to be, we'll call that the audio. Like that. The get audio is a piece we haven't done yet. So this is going to take an array inside here and a percentage. So we need to calculate the index on this based on this. So it's going to be something to the effect of, let's call this, we'll rename this to elements. It's going to be elements dot, do we have length? It's an array. I think it's length. I haven't been in here in a while. It's interesting, IntelliSense isn't helping me in there. It's going to be something to the effect of this percentage times elements of length. That's what I think. Straight butted, gotcha. We'd still like to throw our own dice, but the player cards I could see doing something with. Wait. I'd like to use this in our games face-to-face. Gotcha. Yeah. So this is kind of open source, but the assets are not open because a number of the assets I'm using are I'll get rid of the dice there, so at least they're not continually going through here. The assets that I'm using are licensed assets, so I can't check those out into open source. But there are things that we built that are, like the particle system you're seeing here, like this right here. We built that on the show, and so that's all open source and out there. I just want to check and see how are we doing on CPU. Yeah, it's a little tight, is what it seems like to me. Google Chrome. It's like my biggest candidate here. So Google Chrome is like what? It's the dice roller here. Let's go back to this one instead and see if that frees up Google Chrome. Yeah, that did. That certainly did. Okay. So yeah, those rolling the dice seems to suck up some bandwidth there from the CPU. What do we got now? Visual Studio is taking up a lot. Let's do, because I'm debugging, I can't really do too much on here. All right, so let's see. So I think the index is going to be something along those lines. So let's create this. We're going to call it index, and that's going to be equal to this percentage times that. The percentage, I've got to max it out at 1. So math.max percentage, comma 1 times the elements.length minus 1. Come on, there's my minus times that. That's my index. And I suppose I should also say math.min on that to make sure it doesn't go below 0. Okay, so there's my index. And now I want to say then simply return elements of the index. And is that it? Are we ready to test the audio? Play audio is not actually playing it. And I think I want to try catch inside here. Audio.play. I think there are exceptions, and I want to do console log, exception on play. You have a 55-inch TV that you lay flat for maps? Interesting. That's super cool. Yeah, so the player cards, basically what you saw, the scrolls opening up, right? That is, I think, is the scroll? No, the scroll is also a license. I licensed the scrolling effect as well, and I converted it into essentially a PNG animation. Exception on play. Yeah, so unfortunately that is not something that is that you can just use for free and get. I'm feeling like there's a chance this might be working. Let's go back over here into the die roller. See what we got here. It's not looking good. That's not so good. Also, I'm right-clicking and nothing's happening. It's as if we're in a breakpoint, but Visual Studio doesn't look like we are. I think a restart's going to solve this problem. Yeah, I'm right-clicking Visual Studio. I'm right-clicking Chrome, nothing. I can right-click here and here, but I can't right-click here. Yeah, I think I'm going to shut down and restart. That's what I'm going to do. That should clear up. Visual Studio should calm down too, I think, if we stop debugging. And let's see what else I need to shut down here. Bear with me a second as we restart. It's going to stop some of the effects that are happening on the stream. Really? Well, it thinks we're still running. Let's stop debugging. How are we going to do now? How are we doing? That's better. That's better. So I'm using the latest preview version. I'm on the preview track for Visual Studio. So, and I just installed a new version today, and we've been experiencing some slowdowns in transferring from normal mode to debug, and then from debug back out. All right, so that's good. Everything's calming down. That's feeling way better to me. Let's try running it one more time. Just need to kill every instance of Chrome out there so we can start up. Here it comes. The start. VS is using 4 gigs. I did not notice that. Well, it dropped it. It was probably for the debug. And let's see where it goes to. Did I have the wrong min? Hold on. No. Cannot find 3. Yeah, we've got this problem. The dice manager, this problem. Yeah. By moving that code over into diceroller.ts, we started getting all of these errors. Will, that was the thing I was telling you about before. Hold on, let's look at this, make sure I've got this right here. Math.max, did I totally have these wrong? I do this all the time. So we want the smallest number here, and we want the largest number there. That's what I want. Yeah, I actually created a math.between or a mymath.between, so I wouldn't have to think too hard about this. Yes, that's exactly right. Who helped me? NXthor, thank you so much. Awesome catch. Really appreciate that. Okay, so take a look at this right here. He's awesome. Yeah, you can't do it, unfortunately. But look at this, Will. This is all inside of dieroller.ts. How do I get dieroller.ts to see these things is my question, so that it doesn't think they're errors. Because they're not actually errors. That's my question for you. I'm going to go ahead and run it because I know it compiles, but when we figure out what that answer is, if we know what that is, that would be awesome. This was fine when we had it in CSHTML. Moving it over here, we had this problem. Yes, I'm going to say run it. That's the first time I've actually ever hit that for real. Maybe the reference directive? I don't know it, Will. If you can give me a link, we can bring it up and I can take a look at it. All right. Starting up. I'm going to reset the streams as well. Refresh those streams. Bring those back in. All right, so here is Chrome. And I don't really want that page. I want the die roller page. Seems like it's taking a long time to load. Never used it before, but maybe is the solution here. /directive. Okay, here we go. This is loaded. Hold on. What do we got? Uncut. Okay, this means I haven't clicked it yet. So let's click it. It's trying to play sounds. Let's click it, and now we should hear sounds. We hear sounds now. Maybe we got some errors up above. We should go take a look at that. Asset not found. Sure looks, oh wait, die. It's not die. It is, I got the file name wrong. No, it is. Die1.wave. Why isn't it finding it? Drag assets, Dragon H, sound effects, dice, die1.wave. It's totally there in assets. But is this assets folder the same as that one? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, because there's no assets folders here. Yeah. Why is that not found? I'm wondering if it is because no, that doesn't make sense to me. So, whoops, hold on a second here. See what we got over here. So Hugo says, not sure how you added the .wave to VS, but is it set to copy to output folder? Well, I guess that's what must be happening, but I'm like, wait, how is it not already copying it, is my question. Do I have to add these manually? So part of, if so, that's like not great at all, if that's the case. Existing item. Yeah, it's not good, not good, not good at all. www root. Game dev, assets, Dragon H, sound effects. Dice. Can I select them all? Add them as a link. I thought that www-root was my output folder. And if it's not, that's not good because, properties. Yeah, I don't have any properties. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, it says do not copy. So I guess this is not my output folder. Copy if newer. Wow. Good question. What works so far? All right, let's look at that while that is going. /directives. Okay, wow, that finished. That was a little crazy. And now let's refresh over here, see what happened. We go over to our console. Still, we had the problem. Die one not found. How do I find out where localhost 440303 is on, like, this folder? I do not know how to go from here to... Should be an IIS Express icon in the system tray. Let's see what we got here. Looking. I'm not sure what the icon is, and I happen to have a bunch of these in here. There it is. Got it. And I have a overlay manager, browse applications. Okay, that just brings up one of the options I chose, just brings up another one of it. Okay, cool. Did not know this. What else do we have? Show all applications. Gets me here. Yeah, but I want to do is I want to look and see where that folder is or where the root, www root is. Click, looks like a little silver server. Yeah, you're right. Click show all, then click the one you want. I'm not sure what you mean by show all. Show all applications. Yeah, that was what I did do. Okay, so yeah. So I did that. I bring this up, then here, but that's not what I was that's not what I was trying to do. I'm trying to find out where is that target path where it's because it's looking for it. It's not finding it. Maybe there's another problem here. Yeah, what? It's showing you the path in the dialog. Did I miss that? Let's do that. Let's look at that. Yeah, so I'm not seeing the path. I mean, I see this, but I'm not seeing where is... I guess what I'm expecting is, and this is also could be because I don't know very much about this, but I'm expecting to be there to be some path that I can get to right here in File Explorer, and then see if the files are in fact there. Is what I'm looking for. But the thing that's odd is this path looks correct. Maybe there's a mistake we made here. Click a row once, not the link. Okay. Looks like there's a hidden way to interact with this. Let's take a look at it again. Click the row. Oh, down here. That's what you were trying to help me through. There's the click. So there's the path. There's www root. Right? Or is it looking for assets in here? Oh, I understand what's going on. The assets, we're getting that assets folder at the wrong time. And it has not been initialized. All right, so let's look at this. Dice sound. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We'll fix it. We'll kind of, so we are looking for game dev assets all the way out here. So I'm going to just hard code this is what I'm going to do. Instead, I'm going to say game dev assets.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Let's see if that is helpful at all. So when you come in here, refresh. Yeah, I didn't see it. And now we have this one. Click it, come back. There we go. Let's see what it looks like and sounds like. Not bad. Got some exceptions here. Hold on. Let's see what our exceptions here. Got some undefines showing up here. Okay. So let's figure out why we're getting undefined. Elements. Well, let's see here. Get audio. Those are looking all like they're going to be defined. I'm feeling good about that. Then this could be the problem right here. The index I don't get that. Let's send it out. Like that. And then refresh and see what additional information we get. Oh, uncaught. There we go. There's now the playing. Exception on play. Cannot read property play of undefined. So index is 0.25. Let's round this baby out, shall we? Math.round, or floor rather. We should do floor. Okay, let's refresh. Uncaught promise exception. Let's click so we don't get those anymore. Oh, that sounds good. Haha. Nice. Nice. I want that settle at the end though. Let's come over here, clear the console.
Fixed.
Sounds like it might be fixed, doesn't it? What's this? Uncaught promise exception? That's a different one. Because we definitely... Okay, where's the settling? I want to look at the settling. Let's clear the console. Two meters per second is die to floor 6 meters per second. So that's the settling. Let's check to make sure we're sending the settles out. Let's go do that. We don't need this anymore. Settling. Okay, let's just do this, console log settling, and let's just see what happens with that. Let's also, wait, I want to go back over here a second, make sure we're using the right one here. Dice hitting the floor. Yeah, if we're hitting the floor, that's the one we should be checking actually. We don't need the relative speed on there. The dice roller. Let's go find the console. Let's, so the relative velocity, if we're hitting the floor, we don't really need target speed, I think, anymore. Anyway, we just want, I want to use relative velocity instead and change this to that, like that. And now let's try a refresh. Let's comment this out. All right, and here we go. Okay, uncomment promise. I think I typed in setting. Interesting. I'm not hearing the settling ones. Let's go take a look at that. Why we're not hearing those. Settles. Load sound effects. Settles 1 through 7. Okay, those should have loaded up. That could be why. I think I know what the problem is. Get floor hit, play settle. That's my problem. I'm passing in a hit wall instead of the settles. That should fix the settling. Let's change this to actually, well, we know it's being called. The only thing I'm worried about is this thing is happening a lot of times near the end. If we come clear this and we look at this, settling right there, it's 136 times it's being called. So I think we need to make sure that we don't call this a crazy amount of times. We could do it by sending in the target. So to check to ensure that we don't do this multiple times. Let's try that. Target like this, and I'm just going to do it. I also think I want to have a min velocity, but the relative velocity's got to be also greater. Let's do this. Filter down to one-time settling by setting up a flag. Yeah, well, I've got multiple dice running in the game here, and I'm like, I think I want to do a couple things here. I want to see what right now I just want to see what our relative velocity is coming out when we're settling. And so let's refresh and just look at that. Yeah, so 15 times there at 3. Yeah, and there are 2 different dice here. It's like I'm trying to figure out the least obnoxious way to do this. Yeah, I can do it I can, I think I want to do this for now, just to say, if we're in this range, I'm going to play, but I won't otherwise. And then otherwise, there just won't be a sound at all. If we're less than 7 but less than 3, there's no sound at all. And then that gets us closer. Right, refresh. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Uh-oh. Hear that? Did you see that? Maybe a last settle time. That's actually, I like that. I like that, Will. That's a great suggestion. Let's do a last settle time on there. So we just won't play it too soon. Let's do that. That is making me way happier. So we'll just do that. And we'll say this.play, and then we're going to say, so I won't send in the target anymore. We're just going to flat out play it, and then we're going to say this.last settle time is equal to, I think I got a DTN here, new date. Okay, and then I want to say, I forget exactly how to do all of this. I've been over in C# for like about a month or so now. And then we want to do, I think, if DTN minus this last settle time, I think that's in milliseconds, is Hugo Dahl, definitely earning your Rory Jr. moniker badge today, Will Bennett. Yeah, you definitely are. Okay, if it's greater than, I think this is in milliseconds, if I'm recalling correctly. And if that's greater than, or less than rather, 500, then I'm going to say return. Is that going to work? Doesn't like that? Don't understand why it's not liking that. Time span got from seconds. Date time now? Do I have date time now in this world? I don't think I have date time here. AJ2 2017. Yeah, not C#. Yeah, that's I live in a world called where new date is here. Let's just do this. Let's just build this a piece at a time. Do I have a date type here? I don't remember if I do. I do. Okay, cool. So we're going to say this is now is equal to the new date, and now dot what is it? So there's a total in here. Just get seconds, get milliseconds. Get milliseconds. See if that works. So that seems to be happier about that. All right, so let's try that and see if it's a little cleaner with regards to the sound effects. Something didn't work that time. Cannot read property of undefined. Because guess what? Last time is undefined. Okay. All right. Whoops. I just hit F5 there. Did not mean to. All right. All right, let's watch it and listen to it. I'm pretty good with this. I think this is not bad. The only thing I'm thinking is I maybe want to re-record the sounds with kind of a more resonant sound to the box. Now, by the way, guess what? Guess who does not need this line of code right here? I don't need this line of code anymore. Now, if we're just under, and we are going to...
Miles, what's your bet?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's look at it on the stream and see how it looks and sounds. We should be able to hear it as well on the stream. Let me change this. Or actually, yeah, fine. I can just do that. That'll stop that. And switch over to our die roller test here on the stream. Guess what? I'm not hearing it though. I wonder if I have to bring up the die roller and then click it, but now we won't be able to. Are we going to hear double sets of sounds? Can I mute this? Yeah, so we're still not hearing sounds on the main one. So that's weird. I'm not sure why we're not hearing sounds on that. Is it because, oh, I bet I refresh the cache and we will. I think that's what the problem might be. Hold on. Let's go in there, refresh that cache. Refresh the cache of the stream. There we go. That was what we needed. Cool. Nice. And we've even got shadows coming over the live video stream right there, as you can see it coming over there. So cool. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get sound effects on it. I wanted it to sound not too bad, and I think it kind of is sounding not too bad. I think maybe I want a little more with the settling, but it's not bad. I think I'm good with that. Okay, so I just want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out with us today. I think tomorrow I'm going to go back to do more of the Dungeons and Dragons combat stuff. We'll probably do that. And I'm actually thinking, I'm not sure, I need to take a look at what my schedule is today, but I might come back a little later today as well and continue this. I want to be able to find this die where it is and on screen, and I want to put an animated fireball around it, and I want to do explosions and to blow up the die to get rid of it. I want to do these kind of dust explosions if we can get some kind of effect on that as well. So because I want a fun way for the dice to be removed from the table. And we need to control it via Signal R. We need to be able to send a Signal R message out that says roll this many dice. One of the things our Dungeon Master wants is the ability to roll the attack and the damage at the same time. So we're going to have the damage die in a different color, and if the attack succeeds, we'll have some sort of effect that indicate that, and if the attack misses, then the damage die will go away somehow. So there's a number of things that we want to do there. Some of these things are to optimize the game so that the game moves quickly, and those are some of the things that we anticipate creating in the future. So with that, I want to say thanks to everybody. We gave away a copy of CodeRushed already, and we will see you maybe later today, and if not, for sure we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to find out who we're going to raid to while we play our ending piece, and then I'm going to raid everybody out to hopefully another one of the live coders that's out there.